So Islam, it is always protecting us from all these challenges and telling us that, we need to work on all these areas properly. That brings me to the next question. When the psychology is telling us so, Islam is telling us so, even our own body, our cognition is crying out to us, telling us you need to have a smarter way of dealing with all these challenges. Why are we not listening? Why we are resisting something which can bring us immense pleasure, immense ease? This is one challenge I usually give to a lot of my students. I tell them, okay, how about for one whole week, starting from the morning, that when you wake up till night, you do everything as a benchmark practice. For example, you wake up in the morning, you pray your fajr, you do your azkar, then you walk, you make your breakfast. In fact, you also think about making breakfast for your parents, or you help your mom in the kitchen. You lay your tables, you put away the dishes and everything appropriately in kitchen. You tidy up your room. You dress up nicely. You take a shower. Then you chit chat with your family members positively. If it is your college, school time, you reach on time. You're very focused in your studies. You're not bunking classes. You're not giving difficult time to your teachers. If it is a day when it's off from your institution, your home, you're doing something constructive, you're reading a good book, then yes, you're on screen, but not excessively. Or if someone comes up, you put away the screen, you listen to the person, you don't roll your eyes. You're praying Zohar, Asr, Maghrib, Isha, you're walking, you're eating healthy, you're not complaining about life. You are listening to everyone. If a guest comes up, it's not a big battle. Why do I have to meet them? You say salam. In fact, you make healthy plans with your family members. So after 1 week, how would be your relationship with your family members? Terrible. Terrible? Why are you saying no? Because that's how we perceive. If I start, Dr. Kamal, you don't understand. If I start listening to my family members, they will suffocate me. They will put extra pressure on me. They will not let me live my life. But the ground reality is, you practice 1 week and you will feel like they're not that bad. Life is so good. There is so much optimism. And when they'll see, oh, my beautiful daughter, whom I love so much, is showing responsible behaviors, they will give you more allowance to go out, eat. वो खुद कहेंगे बेटा पिज्जा खा लो. आप कहेंगे no mom, I would rather eat roti salad. नहीं बेटा आज खा लो पिज्जा. बेटा जाओ फ्रेंड को मिल के आओ. Because you are showing responsible behaviors. You're becoming more trustworthy. They'll start listening to you. They'll start telling you, हाँ बेटा और क्या ख्याल है, क्या प्लान है, क्या करना चाह रहे हो, what do you want to do in life? You'll be amazed, because that's what the parents want to do. That means whatever the modern trends are around, we need to learn to deal with them. First of all, for this you have to understand your own personality, because one thing that confuses us is, how come I'm the culprit, I'm the black sheep of the family, and my brother, my sibling, or someone else I know in my class, I might not be friends with her. How come she never bunks? How come she never has a boyfriend? How come she never thinks about killing herself? How come she doesn't go into risky behavior and I'm craving for that risky behavior? Because we all are different. We all are different and we all have different set of challenges. we need to first of all connect to our own self and understand our own self, that what is my basic problem. Then what do? You need to educate yourself properly. First of all, you need to have ownership of your life. That if someone is advising me, and Islamic data, psychological data, all the experts in their life, they are talking about it, the same thing, then I need to take it seriously, because it's about my life. YOLO, you only live once. So when you only live once, you should not make more mistakes. You should try to live your life in such a manner that you enjoy, you grow, you develop. Okay? So for that, social media usage, I need to educate myself properly about it. And a lot of youngsters, when they talk to me, I every day I tell myself I'm not going to be staying too much on the social media, but I'm not able to control myself. So what do? By night, by 9 p.m., take your phone, take your laptop, take your tab and give it to your parents. Mom, I am impulsive. Sometimes I'm not able to handle myself. So can you please keep it with you? I'll take it from you in the morning. And even if your parents say, beta rakh lo, koi baat nahi, you say, nahi amma, I'll be so much tempted at night to watch a movie because all my friends are going to be on social media at that time. So please keep it with you. Because this is one area where I need to tame myself. You need to allow your parents to monitor you properly. How? How would you allow them? Add your parents on your Insta account. Let them see your activities. Once when I said to my girls that I'm constantly sending you requests and you're not adding me your Insta account. Amma, parents ko kaun add karta hai? I said, exactly. That means you're doing disastrous activities on your social media. But when you know that your nani, dadi, khala, phupho, chacha, mamu, they're all added on the social media, that is going to safeguard you. Or at least add some sensible people from your family who can advise you better. Okay? That's going to simply safeguard you. Then have positive engagement. Whenever you engage in something, you post something. When I post something on my Insta or my Facebook, because I'm from the older generation, so I'm still on Facebook. So I ask myself, how will this post help me? Either it's helping me connect to my near and dear ones in a positive manner. It's also helping me in my dunya, my akhiras, generating some healthy activity. Sometimes even fun, but has to be healthy fun, not disgusting, dirty fun. Okay? Not memes or pictures of myself or making TikTok in such a manner that it's very provocative. So I have to be like very, very positive and very, very settled about it. Set limits for the screen time. Have something else in your life rather than just screen. It's very interesting. I have my granddaughter who is 5.5. And 2 days back, she was sitting with me and she was like, very typical remark. Dado, I'm getting bored. And I wanted to take a nap. I was really tired. So I said, why don't you go and play? I gave her some options. Why you can do this, you can do this, while I take a nap. And then we will sit and do some activity. And initially she said, nahi, ye nahi, nahi, ye nahi, nahi, ye nahi. And then she said, आप मुझे कोई ऐसी बात बताएं, tell me something which is totally new, I have never done it in my life. Only then I won't be bored. This is how a youngster's mind is running now. जैसे रोज वही दाल, हालांकि रोज तो दाल नहीं होती, maybe twice a week. We also have some other desserts and some other dishes, and sometimes we're eating steak and kadahi and like pasta. But every time we say roz sabzi, roz dal, give me something new. वही काम sometimes your parents take you out for a vacation and you're like, हमेशा हम यही करते हैं. Every time we go out for vacation and other people might be appreciating and admiring you. But we're like, there is nothing new happening in my life. So I said to her, look, I will never be able to find something which you have never ever done. There will always be something that you have done. But what you need to do is enjoy it. Every time you do it, enjoy it. Because there is a repetitive pattern in our life. For your mental health challenges, you must have open communication with your family members. What we do is, because we're shutting down on them, that is why we're not able to manage our emotions well. And always read something which is healthy. Don't read, if I'm anxious and I have self-harm thoughts, what is the possibility of me killing myself? Now, the algorithms are going to pick you, and all the reels and shorts and whatever comes up on your feeds is going to be how you kill yourself. Nothing healthy will come up. But when you say, I'm feeling anxious, how I can be a more positive person, how I can deal with my anxiety. And then you pick another something positive from the list that is coming up to you, how I can manage myself better. So growth mindset is something that you need to work on with. So you need to have access to the right sources. You need to be constantly working on yourself for your stress management. Educate yourself about addictions. The expert with whom I have worked and I have done the courses on addiction, they advise that the parents should be educated about addiction, or parents should educate their kids about addiction when they're sitting and they're listening to them. Mama aur bataएं, Baba aur bataएं, अच्छा ये होता है. And usually that time is when our parents are afraid. They don't want to talk about all the monsters that are waiting for you outside the home. They're like, let's not talk about it, because if we talk about it, then we're educating our kids and our kids might start experimenting. Whereas it's the other way around. When parents are not educating, the kids are experimenting more. So let's say even if your parents are not even aware of it and you enter into that situation, you start discussing and you create awareness. There are a lot of youngsters who come to me and tell me what is happening. So this is how we need to be talking to our parents, and also become particular about your academic, like bring in balance in your life related to academics, extracurricular activities, and when you should be relaxing. If there is any form of threat, bullying, cyberbullying, someone is blackmailing you, please do not fall prey to that. Always approach your family members immediately, even if they are very angry, they shout at you, they blame you, they tell you, I told you so, whatsoever. Because if you're trying to handle a difficult situation yourself, you won't be able to do it. As I told you, the list of things which are happening within you, with which you have less experience, and your decision making is going to be strong, not very strong. Okay, one thing that you particularly can work on is your physical health. And I can assure you, if you take into account few areas, that is going to bring in a very healthy, fresh breeze in your life. Number one, never leave home without a breakfast. Never. I was supposed to meet someone at 9 a.m. today morning, and today after Fajr when I lied down, so my alarm rang and I missed it. When I woke up, I had very little time. I did not leave without having breakfast. I sent a message to the person whom I was supposed to have a meeting with that I'll be about 10 minutes late. And when I reached there, I told her, I'm so sorry, I had to have my breakfast. Never leave home without breakfast. And breakfast is before 9 a.m. even if you are on vacations or it's a weekend. Number two, avoid junk as much as you can. Number three, take ample amount of water throughout the day, about 12 glasses per day. Else, you are going to be so irritated on everything. You're going to be on edge. Number four, stop taking high doses of caffeine. And also stop doodh patti, mixed tea, matka tea. That's disastrous. Sleep on time, according to your circadian rhythm. Read about circadian rhythm. That is 10:30, 11. You should be in bed sleeping. If you're not sleeping, then there is an internal battle going on in your body. I have seen cases of OCD, obsessive compulsive disorders, suicidal ideation, self-harm, only because the sleep is not right. And when they come to me for coaching, I have corrected them only by working on their sleep. Just sleep. It's going to destroy your immunity. And if you say, oh, I know I should be sleeping 9 hours, 8 hours, 9 hours, and I sleep the whole day so I complete my sleep. No, you're going against the rhythm of your body. And that is extremely toxic for your body. You get cancer, you get autoimmune diseases, you get repeated infections because of that. And last one, your physical health. Walk. Don't stay in your bed for more than 1 hour. 1 hour, get up and walk. Walk for 3 minutes, 5 minutes, then you can resume your activity. Okay? So I finish off over here. And yes, the rest of the topics that we've talked about, all the modern trends which are very challenging, read about them and internalize the same concept. Don't say, oh, even the ChatGPT is sounding like my mom and dad. They have destroyed their own life and they're destroying my life. You look at any successful person in your life, in your environment, wherever they are, successful people, for example, you look at a social media influencer, or they're very successful, they have so many followers, but if their own mental health and physical health is not sound, they're not successful. The success criterion for us is who pleases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and has nafs mutmainna, peaceful heart.
So everything that you described in family dynamics, that has been where you have parents that are understanding or receptive. The whole ideology of I told you so, where kids when they make mistakes and they're inclined to physiologically make mistakes because we're under the So when they approach their parents, they tell them for the first time, okay, I messed up over here, and the parents, they sort of put restrictions on you and they say, I told you so, you don't know any better. And instead of being the confidant that you need at the moment, they sort of become your enemies. And that's where you sort of define those boundaries, and not going to confide in them again. So then you talked about how we should approach our parents when anything happens. So what does a person do in a family dynamic like that?
Okay. That's a very important question. Now, remember few standards. Let's say you're driving a car and you messed up somewhere. You crossed the red light. What will happen? You'll be fined. If you tell the traffic policeman over there, I'm so sorry, I somehow overlooked. I was engrossed in my thought. Will he excuse you? No. Let's say you were traveling abroad and you forgot to take the visa, or you forgot your passport at home, and you reach the counter and tell them, oh, I'm so sorry, I left my passport or visa at home, but I have bought the ticket, it must be in your system, please let me travel. It's not possible for me to go back home and grab my passport. What will happen? They wouldn't let you. Are you sure? You go to one of the good institutions and you just enter a classroom and say, I'm so good in studies and I'm so intelligent. I have not actually given the entry test, but I want to be in your institution and study in your system. Would they allow you? No. Cause and effect is something that we need to understand. Cause and effect is when you do something right, you get the red carpet treatment. When you do something wrong and to correct it, you don't get red carpet treatment. What happens is then you have the repercussions and you need to be prepared for those repercussions. Your parents are definitely going to put up restrictions on you. Then you have to come up to their trust level. You have to prove that if I said sorry, if I made a mistake, and yes, you must put some restrictions on me because I cannot at the moment deal with things properly. And then you prove to them that through these restrictions and through whatever system has happened, you prove your worth. That next 5 years, I'm going to prove that I have learned my lesson and I am not going to make a blunderous mistake like that. So that's the reality. That's what you have to accept. Sometimes I have couples coming to me where one has cheated And then the other one says, he or she doesn't trust me. I'm like, sure, that person is definitely not going to trust you. Now you have to prove that you are trustworthy. Okay? So that phase, yes, definitely you'll have to go through. There is no shortcut to that learning.
I asked a question another scholar, a doctor, and I'm asking it again that back from America, when we come to Pakistan, our routine gets disturbed. So we, in the daytime, we get like same.
You're talking about jet lag. When you travel, you go to another, like from US or UK or some other country, you come to Pakistan, so your sleep is disturbed. Okay?
Yeah.
That's called jet lag.
But it's like when we sleep in our daytime, it's like our sleep is perfect. So like
For jet lag as well, now sleep experts, they have smart ways. You can read about it. Okay? You can go online and you can read about it, that if I have a jet lag, what do? I have so many people around me who travel extensively. They immediately manage their jet lag. Sometimes they take melatonin. Sometimes they take enough sunlight. And they train themselves that, for if you manage your sleep for 2 days, your jet lag is fine. Your body entrains. Your body brings you back into balance. Okay? So when we say, because I have a jet lag, so for next 20 days I'm going to be sleeping in the morning and waking up at night, obviously then your jet lag is going to be becoming difficult for you.
it's like almost it takes me like a week to get back.
Okay, how's your routine when you are stably staying in a place? Let's say if you're in USA, do you sleep in time? What time do you sleep?
Almost
9:30. What time you wake up in the morning?
would it be like 9:30?
What about the weekend?
Yeah, it's 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. What time do you sleep at night?
We don't study there, so it's like we wake up normally like 9.
Okay, what about the vacations?
We go to my vacations, like in our vacations.
Then you go to a sleep expert and you ask them for advice that how I can manage my sleep with the jet lag.
Because like,
They will guide you. They will guide you. Okay ji. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam.